So this indicator, this is the final release version of this. The quarter series scale includes the actual scale and the signaling built into it, where you can control the color of your signals, the shape. If you want a different shape, you can set it. The size of the actual signal. You can reduce it, increase it. 15 is about the average size. The default is the automatic dot. Gives you a dot in the direction you want to trade it in. So if the dot is at the bottom, you want to go short. Once it pulls back, if the dot is at the top, you want to go long. That's technically the way this works. The wick percentage is the exit candle. If you want a leftover orders candle, you set it to about quarter and below. That's the best setting. And then for less reliable signals, you set it to quarter and above.
If you would hang that screen right there for a second, I'm just going to double check all mine. I figure if I set it once right, I won't have to ask you again.
Sure.
I'm going to try to make mine more like yours so when we get into these webinars, I don't get so confused.
No problem.
Red, gray, blue, and then blue again. There's no magic in the colors, but it sure would be nice to have where I can recognize what you're doing. Well, maybe there is some magic in the colors. You're using a lot of Patriot colors for some reason. It's kind of annoying if you ask me, but other than that, but if it seems to be working for you, I'm okay with that. I'm second place is not bad.
These are the colors that I can see clearly. Anything outside of
whatever. I get you. Well, it's all right. We all have our faults. Red, gray, blue, gray, blue. Get that correct, we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. All the holes are red, all the hesitation zones are gray, and all the quarters, signals, and halves are blue.
See, I actually have, and this is going to sound crazy, mine are burgundy, gold, and just a gray line. So it's the redskin colors. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I have to admit it's kind of weird. Okay, so, and you're showing minor holes on this instead of major holes for the signaling.
Yeah, the signaling is set right now to minor holes because this is a 4-hour chart.
Correct.
And then the enable QT signaling is if you want to enable or disable the dots. If you say no.
My thoughts are, yeah, you might as well have another signal to verify what you're doing, correct?
Well, they kind of go hand in hand for this strategy.
Yeah.
You can't just have unless you're really good at spotting him. You can't just do that, and then good luck. I mean, you want to know where and why you're getting in. And then, these are all the colors for all the lines, the width, if you want solid or dashed, anything like that. And these are the lines you want to turn on. If you want to just see the holes, there's your holes.
Yeah, I'm going with what you had there, and I'm starting to figure that out. Currently I'm on the pound US short, so I'm pretty happy so far. I'm not so sure what it's going to do, but follow my rules. I was surprised when I got home and saw something there. Okay, so my screen now looks a lot like yours, except my screen's not quite as big as yours. Okay, nice. And your black dots, are those your quarter signals? Are those your fast momentum?
Minor hole signals.
Your minor hole signals, okay. So they are in your quarters.
This is strictly.
Are you doing fast momentum? This is just your QT scales, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you've done.
This is just, yeah, you can combine the strategies. There's no problem with it. But
you have an overlay, yeah.
Yeah, if you want one or the other.
Yeah, I'm looking at mine right now, and an overlay is not so bad because you can see, I mean, obviously it's an odds enhancer of some sort if you have both of them setting at the same spot.
Yeah, if you throw the other indicator. This one's a little long on settings. I'll explain in a minute, but I'll show you what this looks like.
This is big.
Yeah, you get a little overwhelmed with dots, but at least you know what the trend is. I mean, if you turn everything else off except for the higher time frame trend, or actually I'll leave both of these on for a second. You can kind of see where they work together. In a way, you can almost tell which direction you want to be going in.
Up it is.
And if you want to just that, there's your trend. So you know which signals you're ignoring and which signals you're taking.
Now your cloud, is that on your daily cloud there on this particular one?
Yeah. No, hold on. This is a 4 multiple. Actually, this cloud is the 4-hour cloud.
Okay, so you're on a 4-hour cloud with a 4-hour chart.
Yeah. Right now, this is just a 4-hour cloud. So it tells you where you're sideways, where you're up, where you're down. It kind of gives you a good idea. Usually, the way you want to look at this, you make this look just a little bit thinner. I think 2 is a little too thick. Usually the way you use this cloud is you want to trade in the direction of the bottom column.
So currently the color would be green, therefore you want to be looking for a long opportunity.
Yeah, when it's green, you're looking for longs. When it's red, you're looking for shorts.
Correct. Makes sense. And so on your setup, are you showing your strategy type as fast momentum, but your short time frame trend is one path?
Yeah, short-term trend is one path.
And I would assume that your higher time frame would also be one path in as well.
Yeah, the signaling is off, so it's obviously not signaling. The only thing you're looking for is the short-term trend. And then if you want to enable, right now, higher time frame trend is not enabled, so but it obviously reads there. I can actually I'll add that to my list.
You're in a 4-hour chart, so is that a daily cloud? That's the same thing I was asking. I think it's got it set for a 4-hour.
No, it's a 4-hour cloud. It's a 4-hour one-path cloud. I have a question, kind of like more like a survey. Would it be helpful if you see something like that and you wanna clean the signaling up? You basically go to the indicator, and there would be an option somewhere here that says disable longs, and it will disable all the long signals so you're not getting confused by them.
Now rephrase that again because you broke up on that.
So if you're in a downtrend and price is moving down, and you know you only should be shorting here, would you want an option in the indicator to disable signaling for the longs
Yeah, clean it up.
so that you're not getting distorted by the longs? Yeah.
I would think that would be a good thing. If you know
Probably not a bad idea.
Okay.
you just have to know that whenever you got to check your indicator, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Unless you automatically recognize, is it going to automatically recognize when you're in a down or an uptrend, and then it's going to do it for you, or are you going to have to switch it every time it switches into a different trend?
I can set it so that it's, manual or automatic.
Okay, yeah, I would say whatever we can clean up, I think that would be huge.
You can do that. It's basically up to you to select it. If you want it manual, then you can control it. If you want it automatic, then whenever the cloud is green and the bottom of the cloud is green, it will disable all the shorts. And if it's red and the cloud is red, it'll disable all the longs. And then you can do a manual.
Especially on a swing trading mindset. Swing trading, you want to be with the trend for sure, but I mean, in a daily, if you're going down to 15 minutes, there's no reason to do it, but or lower.
Actually, it might help you. It might help you if you do it on even the lower time frames. It's more, it controls your discipline a little bit better.
Oh, but you know more about the short than I would. I'm in the higher stuff.
Alright, so I'll do that, and I'll actually, if it makes sense, I can add it to here as well, so that if you're looking at the full picture of the indicator, it will, if price is red, it will only signal shorts, and if price is green, it will only signal longs. And you can control that, so it'll do the same for both indicators. Sound good?
I think it helps.
Okay.
If nothing else, it's going to clean up your chart to where you're not getting all crazy.
Any other requests, since we're on the topic?
I haven't played with it enough to have much of an input.
So right now, the one thing I've added that you'll see is they'll tell you what your signaling is set to, and I actually am going to set it so that if you disable signaling, it removes this line. If you disable the short-term trend, it will remove this line, and if you disable the higher time frame trend, it will remove this line. So you have less if you have less selected. Let's see what else. I think those two minor changes. That's all I got. So I'm going through these selections a little bit so you guys can understand what everything is. So right up here you have your strategy type. You can select all 5 of our, or all 6 of our strategies. You can set the time frame, the smaller time frame trend to any of these. It's now signaling independent. It used to be that if you set your pain bar to one strategy, the local cloud automatically adjusted to that. Now they're independent of each other. So you can have the pain bar and signaling on fast momentum, and you can have your local cloud on one path. And then you also have the higher time frame cloud now. So you have 2 clouds built into here. And and then you can
And
control. Yeah,
on the you're on a 4-hour chart, and you have one path for current time frame cloud and one path for higher time frame. So what's showing? The current time frame, and then the one path for the higher time would be the daily if you turned it on.
yeah. So it would look something like that. Yeah, daily. So X6.
So the higher time frame would be reading the multiplier. The paint bar would not have a cloud now, but you'd have a second level cloud for the, so it would be like your one path or your medium momentum. But right now your paint bar is on the fast momentum.
Yeah. Actually, I don't have a paint bar here. Paint bar is off.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see
the black dots are the quarters.
that. Okay.
This is how you can use the two indicators together, the quarters theory and the multi-indicator. You can use the cloud component of it to kind of guide you in the right direction.
So the cloud right now on the right side, the highest cloud on the right side of the chart is your fast momentum cloud, or is that your one path cloud?
That's a one path, smaller time frame cloud. So that's this one, current time frame trend.
So that's not reading the 4 times. Which one's reading the multiplier?
The higher time frame is reading the multiplier, hence the name higher time frame.
Okay, so that's the higher time frame is going to be the multiplier. The STF is going to be the whatever you set it to on the default time frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can change your paint bar to be whatever you want. They're all independent. Okay, all the turn on off settings are right here. You can turn everything, paint bar, signaling, levels. You can turn the clouds and the moving averages right from this screen here.
That's nice. Yeah, that's good. That's nice.
Here are your candle settings, so you can set your candle wick size on the exit. You can set the range. You can set the signaling type, whether it's dot or 3D or whatever you're comfortable with. The default is dot.
Which thing do you turn on to do the black dot signal?
Oh, these black dots are from the QT scale. That's on the other end.
No, I know. But on there, what do you turn on to get our lines for the black dot? For the line signal.
So the signaling is the dots, and the level lines are the lines. I can't call it enabled dots because some people might like arrows or stars or diamonds, triangles, whatever it is that they want.
The lines are lines.
Right, lines are lines. Here's your colors for the paint bar.
Okay.
Green, red, black, or you can change them however you want. This is for the signaling. This is for the dots. You can change the size of the dots, same as you could with the QT scale, and you can change the color. And then you get into your current time frame cloud. You can change the color of the cloud. You can add an additional moving average. I should probably just stick it in here.
Where do you turn on the additional moving average? That's about color.
It's lower, but I'm gonna just combine them all. I'll just call it style and settings, and just put them in there so they're together. Yeah.
James, can you click on that and apply or whatever to see if the level lines come on? Because
Yeah, here they are.
They do. Okay. Not that I didn't believe you. I just.
You can change the width and the color of the moving averages. And this is for the higher time frame trend, and for the current time frame trend, you can do the same thing. the lines. You can control the width of the lines and their colors, and you can't control the length yet. I'll add it to the back of the list, but eventually those will be actual levels that are drawn, progressing in that direction. What's next? The colors and the transparency of the cloud. You can make the cloud less visible. So that's more. Sorry, the higher the number, the less visible it is. So you can make it a little bit fainter.
So you can be in control of all your colors, whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, you're in control of every setting in the syndicate.
Right. And you can change the QT colors too, like before you couldn't, or on TradeStation you couldn't, right?
You could in TradeStation, it's a little more involved.
Right, but no, this is good. I'm just trying to make sure I'm asking. I don't want to ask you questions tomorrow if you're doing it now.
Yeah, no, here you can control everything. TradeStation doesn't give you that control.
Right.
But FXCM, you can do whatever you want. Because the language that this is written in is very flexible and very powerful compared to TradeStation. That's the century behind.
I've officially made the switch.
Here's your higher time frame multiplier. So you basically set that times whatever your current time frame is to get the next time frame up. If you set it 4 times 6 equals 24, which is daily. 4 times 1 is 4, 2 is 8. 1 times 4 is 1 hour, 4 hours. So you just have to know the multiplier difference between your higher time frame and your current time frame. And these are all your higher time frame cloud settings. These I will move and combine them with the actual colors here. But for now, so for the signaling, you can select if you want to use simple moving average, exponential, or weight. Not a big fan of all the other ones. Even weight is way advanced for some people. To be honest, all 3 of these settings will give you almost the same results. You'll just have a few extra candles in the base.
Wait a minute, does the WMA do the green and then the red color that you were showing the other day? The one moving average where it'll change from green to red?
No, that's a completely different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if that was in here. So,
See,
okay.
this technically already does it for you. The cloud kind of is similar to having one moving average, except it does a little bit better job than one single moving average. That's why it would be irrelevant for this. But if you really want it, I can add it to this indicator if it helps some people.
I actually just liked it because I was used to using it. I guess it was OTA had an XLT weighted moving average, and after I saw you put it on there, I said, oh, I remember it was on TradeStation, and I've just been using it. I don't know, maybe it's just because it's like an idiot thing for me that I'm like, oh, thanks,
I'll add it. I mean, if it makes you happy, if it does what you need it to do, no problem. This is where you can actually set your own parameters if you don't like what's pre-coded. And these parameters that are pre-coded, you'll see them. You'll see them up here now. I'll show you what moving averages are. If you want to set them manually, you can control that here. You just enable this thing here and set them to whatever you want it to be. You just have to know what you're doing because it's going to really change the way this indicator works, and this is a way for you to customize it to yourself. But in the meantime, leave it on the defaults. That's where it works for for the majority of us. Same thing for the cloud. If you want to change the cloud, you can. If you want to add an additional moving average, you can. There's the additional one if you want to set it to like 100. Oops. Okay, that has to be fixed. So this is, I'll give you guys, once it's at 3.2, 3.3, I guess it'll be available for a major release. As you can see, there's one tiny little bug in here. Yeah, just make a note. Okay. Let's see if this one works. So I'll show you guys later when it does work. That's pretty much it. And this is the periods. We set those manually for the manual moving averages. And that's about it. I will also add to this, as we discussed, the automatic or manual disable feature of where you can turn off opposing signals. If the cloud is green, it will take away all your shorts. If the cloud is red, it will take away all your longs, so that you're at least not getting confused if that confuses you. And then you can override that setting. Any questions?
Looks pretty good.
It looks great, James.
Yeah, no, it looks very good.
I probably would have had it done a little bit earlier, but yeah, I'll be clicked off here. It's gonna be nice knowing y'all.
It just gets better and better all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot cleaner than when I first came in. I mean, there was a lot of pieces of the puzzle out there, and for a newbie on this, it was definitely a little bit confusing. You really kind of tighten things down into one area, and pretty simple, really, once you have a lesson on it. And understanding what each of those little elements does is kind of the big thing, because people like me like to piddle around, and we don't know what the default setting would normally be, and we just start playing, and then we forget what we've done.
Right.
Well, that might be a something to consider. I don't know if you can. Is there a way to reset? So,
Oh,
for instance,
default. Go back to
a
default
default.
settings.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Okay, so it could go back to what you originally programmed it like, right, James?
Yep.
So you
I
can break it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Tony. I can go play with it, and when I forget what the defaults were,
Right.
I can always just push reset.
Yep.
That would give me a little bit of freedom to figure out what fits me. I mean, I like that when we're talking about candle size and percent of wick, I'd like to play around with those numbers more than anything else to see if there's even more of a specialization we can get in that area.
The Forex on Forex Tester, you can actually play with all these settings and back test them.
That's what I was kind of looking at trying to do once you've got it ready to go, and I can play around and see. Have you found that 0.25 is your most successful area?
To an extent, yeah. It's been more reliable. Obviously, the most reliables are 0. If you set it to.
I was looking at going 0.2 instead of 0.25 or. Seeing how much it's kind of like SSI. When I did the SSI thing, when I found out that just being on the right side of the trade for that pound US, it didn't matter what the number was necessarily. just knowing what color SSI was telling me to be, it made me not have to worry about what the number was. And so if I'm able to say, okay, at 0.25, there's not much difference between 0.25 and 0.20, and then I won't have to worry about 0.20. Then I can move it down to 0.15 and see if there's any more success based on those numbers as we test out in Forex testers to see, okay, what number is more reliable? What signals will I get? Obviously, like you said, 0 is going to be the way to go. But you're going to get very, very few signals for sure.
Almost. Wow. You don't
What's the exit range that's on TradeStation? Was that the other number under your 0.25 that you were just doing?
One sec. I don't see single dot when it's set to 0. Yeah, I think there might be some sort of math issue here that 0 cancels out all the signaling. But in any case, you can see how you have slightly more reliable signals, but you have a lot less of them. So obviously overtrading is not going to be a problem, but at the same time, you won't lose much. So the lower the number, obviously, the higher the reliability. The higher the number, the lower the reliability of the indicator. That's all you have to take into consideration.
The lower the number, the less signals, the more reliable signals.
Yeah.
And then that candle size compared to base 1.5, is that like when we would change it to exit range to 1.5 on TradeStation and you get less signals?
Yep. So now this is like basically the odds and ends are here. Obviously, the higher this number, the more reliable the indicator gets. The lower the number, the less reliable the indicator gets. So if you want to see like a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 exit, let's say you set this 3-to-1. Notice how few signals you get. Again, it will be most reliable with less trades, but you're going to sit on your hands quite a bit before you get a trade.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the other question I have is that the higher that number, the more of a pullback you need to be able to get into the trade. And then the question is, will you miss a lot of trades because you don't get the pullback?
Yeah, you basically have to keep an eye on the trades in order to get trades. So, yeah, again, beginner, probably not a bad setting. When you have it set to 2.0 or higher than 1.5. Like 1.8 is even better than 1.5 and gives you enough to play with. So you can see there's fewer dots, and for the most part, they're reliable dots.
And that setting is going to the lines. It's the dot with the line.
Yeah, the dot and the lines, both.
The dot goes to the line. And you don't have to have the dots if you don't want, but the lines are still there. The enable level line, is that what that is?
Yeah, both the dots and the lines go together. You can turn one or the other off if you don't want the signals, just the lines. You can turn the dots off and you will get...
Okay, the dots are, okay, you kind of already, yeah, I don't need both.
Wait, you know what? See, this is a good bug session. Looks like if you turn the dots off, the lines disappear as well.
The dots are for the QT zones, and the level lines are for the paint bar, or is that not the way it is now?
No, they're two separate indicators.
So you have to keep the dots and the lines on?
For now, yeah. It's going to be fixed.
Okay,
It's a bug.
Yep. I'm not so sure that
What's that?
The line is still reference for the paint part, correct?
The line, yeah, the line is the reference to where you should be, where the zone is.
Right. It's like the black dot signal, right? Used to be.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
you see, that red dot right there.
Yeah.
That tells you that there's a level below that candle. That was
Right.
a good exit candle, and there's the level. The line outlines where the level is.
That dot goes with the line.
Yeah, and then you.
And what I've done with the QT scale, as since we're using quarters, I made those not dots. I made those stars.
Yes.
That way I don't have those dots.
Whichever way you want to do it, so that they're.
That way you're not confusing dots. Yeah. If you have QT scale on dots and your enabler on dots, then you're not gonna know what dot's doing what.
Right, but if you don't need the dots, you still have the line. You know the line.
Right.
The line. Right.
Yeah, I would have created this with this kind of bug in it.
What's that?
Man, he is in the barrel tonight. I'm just playing. Hey, I've been around fourth graders, and James is just a good target right now.
So you're a bully, is what you're trying to tell me.
And you know my real feelings. I'm very blessed to be a part.
Actually, really, a strong signal is when you get the line and the dot right out of the QT signal.
That's kind of that's what I was saying earlier. If you have both a star or whatever you use, that's a pretty good odds enhancer if you're on the right side of the trend.
Right.
Well, being from Texas, what about bullets?
But we can't talk about that, not unless you're an NRA member. Which I am.
Which I am.
That doesn't surprise
Go
me.
ahead and talk about those bullets. James, let me ask you a question about this particular one, and maybe I'm not seeing this and this has to do with trading on the Euro US. I guess that would have been on 331 on that candle going out of the minor. I've got a star indicating we had a strong signal out of that hesitation zone. But why didn't it get a normal signal? A normal, one of our fast momentum signals. Why didn't it do that?
Let me see.
Because, you got a 2-bar move out of there. That's
Because it's got a, again, I can probably add this as an option. I just don't want to confuse people more than they're already confused.
Is it because you had 2 candles side by side that are same bottoms?
Now you see how this candle is lower than this candle?
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Just slightly. See that wick?
Yeah.
The indicator reads that and says, nah, I don't like that. See, the problem is that's my specific rule. So I might, give you guys the freedom to explore and disable this or give you a manual override.
Now, this would be a perfect example of what we talked about last week of an engulfing candle, correct?
Yeah, it is.
And if we'd have taken the candles that are engulfed, the top of the wick to the bottom of the large green candle, then we would have had a zone that's already been touched and moved away.
Yeah, so I can remove that and give you guys freedom to control.
You see, with the naked eye, though, I would have never seen that candle wick being lower unless you blow it up real big.
That's that's one thing I learned. It's one of those OTA rules that I heard quite a few times. If the exit candle is lower than the base, then the base is wiped out. And technically, if you notice, you got a base rally, and you have a retest of that rally. So technically, this is not even authentic. It's not a real base, and hence the reason it's, on the.
That's the first time I've heard that comment. That's a good learning thing too. If your candle exiting is lower than your basing candle, then it's not really a base.
Right. And you can see how this was a
Breaking
quarter
above
size.
that quarter line, you know, it's a good trade.
Yeah, it's still got quarters to you. It's also got the engulfing element to you.
Right.
So I mean, you've got some other pieces of that puzzle you can consider.
Mhm.
This is more of a support and resistance trade right here. If you look at where resistance lied, see how you broke resistance and it's automatically became support in the retest came right down to it. That's what it was. It's not really, supply and demand would be this level here. That's supply and demand, but this level here is not so much. I mean, this level was probably demand. The exit wasn't that great, and the same thing happened here, though. So it's, you might miss one or two trades here and there, but in reality, you'll skip a lot of the bad ones that these kind of levels create. So that was part of the reason behind the setting in the indicator.
And when I'm flipping over to the pound US, it looks like I'm in a trade where the daily and the 4 hour are just in a mess right now.
Yeah, this is a little rough.
But it looks like I still should be short, correct? Well,
the green one's at the bottom on both of them.
yeah.
It could pick up.
So therefore, it looks like it could turn up.
See, when the two
I see that.
moving averages overlap,
I don't
you
see
get
that. Let me at least make my one target first.
when if the two clouds overlap, you get a little bit of a sideways action until they thin out. And yeah, when you have this kind of cross right here, that's a serious death cross. That's probably stronger than one moving average crossing another. This is like four moving averages crossing together.
I need to set my cloud doesn't look like yours. I need to check and see why my cloud's not looking the same way. Did you broaden up your lines for your?
You know what? The X4 here. Hold on. I gotta change that to 6. I forgot I pushed the reset button for you. There. Is that better?
Oh yeah. Now, how did you get your red lines and green lines so thick? Where's that at?
That's the twos.
They're twos, and where's that located at? Where do you get?
Right there.
Width. Okay, width, current time frame.
If you change all the width of the moving averages to 1, they'll make it become a little bit thinner.
See, I had mine on 1s, but they're not looking really thick like yours. Or yours are really bright and big on your screen, whereas mine seem kind of dull. That's all right. I'll get used to it. Yours just pop a lot more than mine.
You're using the new one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like right now, is this what you get? Kind of like that?
Yeah, they're thin.
Yeah, that's the one. If you set it to 2, they become a little bit thicker.
Okay, and I like them thick, so let me go over here. And that's down on that part. Higher time frame and all right, let's see if that works. Oh yeah, much better.
You also have a little bit of a
There's a battle going on right now, it looks like to me.
yeah, you got a little bit of a triangle there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a triangle to me, and a little battle going on, and I just followed my rules, so it is what it is.
It looks like the cloud is kind of halfway in between the tops and the bottoms here. So here's your extreme highs and lows, and then just take 20% off on each side. So 0.8, 0.2.
Is this a fib thing that you're doing, or is this a measurement?
This is a measurement. So what you do is you do the extreme high to the extreme low. Oops, extreme high to the extreme low. And then you take 20% off on each side. You can do that with the fib by basically putting a level at 20% and a level at 80%. And what that's going to give you is the areas, the high and low on the curve. So here's your high on the curve. Here's your low on the curve. Those are your extremes where you go long and short. That's what
I'll be out of most of my positions by the time it gets to that lower zone.
That's what I call a playground.
That's a pretty good range.
Yeah.
It's going to be a battle. I bet you it's going to, whatever battle I play tonight is going to happen tonight while I'm asleep. Which is it's always good to wake up and see that you've either made money or lost it. If you lose it, you just got to make sure you wake up and talk to Al to pull you off the cliff.
You just say you're short or long this.
I'm short. SSI show to be short. I'm just following my GP rules.
So let's see.
On the quarter itself again.
When we were sideways right here, which is about the similar picture as what we have.
And then it shot up.
To me, it looks like the pound just a little bit behind.
You think the pound's too high and it could come down?
No, the pound is too behind.
Yeah.
It's lagging the euros. Eventually, it might do a breakout like this guy did.
Yeah, which is, it used to be the precursor to the euro.
And you can see the retest of that triangle breakout.
Thanks for making me feel real good about my short.
You might get a short-term short on it. You still have room to go.
Yeah.
If you look at
I went to 1-to-1, 1.5 to 1, and then just a 2. So I didn't risk much.
It's looking a little bullish, but if it does work out for you, you do have about 140 pips before it comes down this area here.
I'll be basically out by then.
And if not,
chances.
Well, this level's
I really like that one, but it's been that one up there. That one signal's been tested once already.
Yeah.
But that's pretty.
This level's already been tested. You have this level here that hasn't. It's a nice little triangle breakout. Might still come down and retest this whole yellow level here. You never know. Though the trend line, you see the trend line is getting higher and it's respecting the trend line. That's the only problem I see with it.
Yeah. And I'll be out of part of my position and break even by that point. If it bounces off of that, I'll be fine.
Another way to look at it is if you draw this guy here, you can see that it touched the extreme low here. It might come up to touch the extreme high. The extreme high does at the moment for this particular thing lines up with this level here.
Right, which would be 8/4 again.
Right. So you never know. When do we have our rates?
On setting up the one path indicator on the daily, how would you set that up?
April 27th. Say that one more time.
I'm looking at my daily for any pair that I'm looking at. How would you set that up with the one path indicator? I would assume it would still be fast momentum, one path, but then
So
you got to change something in there.
Yeah, we're gonna go to major quarters.
Okay, so you're doing the QT scale. Let me get that one first.
And we enable all the quarters. You basically say yes to everything.
Major. Okay, yes for everything?
Yep.
Okay, I'll fix those colors later. Okay, so is there anything else? Okay, major quarters down there. And you, yes on your, okay, that makes sense. And everything else should stay the same, correct?
Yep.
got those set to 1 dash line. I'm going to get back like yours. Okay. Let's see how that plays out on that.
So this is what it will look like. Basically, we'll signal just the quarters on the daily chart, which is as strong as it can get on for those quarters.
Okay, so now your settings look a little bit different than mine. Go back to your setting again. Let me look and see what we got here. Just doesn't look quite the same. Yours is a little bit cleaner than mine for some reason.
Oh,
Okay.
you're talking about the multi-indicator, right?
I'm talking about QT scale right now. Making sure everything matches up to what you're doing.
Yeah, so you're on the daily chart,
I'm on daily.
and then you got major up here. You have everything turned on.
Correct. Everything's turned on. And you're on all solid lines and ones.
Yep.
Let's see if maybe I just didn't.
It just, I get this white space up here that it doesn't, for some reason, doesn't fill. Not sure why. It just doesn't like it. It only happens on currency pairs that are above 1.3. There's some sort of math issue here.
So I see your blue lines. Your blue lines are your quarters, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Your gray lines are the hesitation zones for those quarters?
Yep.
Okay, that's why it was looking a little bit different. Okay, so that's the QT scale one. That seems to be all right. So now we go over to our one path indicator.
Okay, so on the one pass.
And I keep it at fast momentum, correct?
Yeah.
And one path. And yes, all the way through. You enabled your paint bar for this. I can do that. It looks the same.
You don't have to, but just.
Hey, I do what you do. And then it basically stays the same as the 4 hour, correct?
Yeah.
Do I have to change my multiplier?
The multiplier has to be set to 5 instead of 6.
Okay, so on the daily,
5
it's
days
to
in a
5.
week.
That would make sense.
So James, the version that you sent out to us, what's the version number, 3.1?
Yeah, you can see the version number right here.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm having a hard time getting it loaded in there, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, apparently there's quite a bit of. They're not bad bugs. They're not gonna like crash your system or anything. They're just things don't work 100% yet. So if you want to wait one more day, I'll have 3.2 ready.
So if I'm looking at this, James, if I'm understanding correctly, the cloud that the current price is sitting on is the daily cloud, and the cloud that's above would be then the weekly?
Yep.
Okay. And so if I'm going monthly and I want to do the same setting, what would my indicator be for that?
If you want to do daily and monthly?
So, for instance, I want to set my one path indicator for a monthly chart. My multiplier would be what at that point?
31.
31?
Or 30, whichever. This one might be a little bit rough, but there's an average of 30 days per month.
Okay, I'll go with that.
I think you need a load. Look at that. This is kind of what you have to do. You have to load all the data to get it. You can see it's 750, 1500. moving
Yeah.
average, but it's pretty close.
Will it line up? I mean, because mine doesn't even populate yet. Does it take a little bit of time?
No, you have to scroll until you have enough data to draw it. So you have to scroll kind of like what I did here.
Okay, let's see. Well, I'm on the pound US, and it's only going back to 1993, and I don't have anything.
How far back did I go? No, just 2012 showed up.
Now you're showing it on the day. You're on the daily chart, though.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at the monthly
Oh,
chart,
monthly chart, I see. You won't be able to do this on a monthly chart.
okay, that's what I needed to know.
So on the monthly chart, monthly chart is 1-to-1. If you try to do 12, it's not really going to work.
Okay, so in the higher time frame cloud, you just do a 1.
Yeah, there's no, you see, it doesn't go far enough. There's probably only like 200. Well, let's do the math. How many years do we have? 20? We only have about 240 bars. We would need 300, 600 if you want to do yearly moving average. There's just not enough data. You would have to wait another 60 months, which is 5 years, to get the data there.
I think I can live without that. So what will I just put a 1?
But you
there
know what?
now?
You can get a quarterly moving average. If you set that to 3,
Okay, so I set that to 3 on the higher time frame, right?
yep,
Okay.
the 3 is going to give you quarterly moving average.
Okay. And so to me, looking at the pound on the monthly, it's in a sideways market.
Yeah, we got an inside bar here on the monthly.
Yeah, with a tendency of wanting to go higher.
Yeah.
It looks, that's what I'm seeing now, which really kind of sucks. I mean, you could actually move 1,000 pips higher up.
Yeah, I mean, there's room. Well, you didn't close last month with a signal, but you did close bullish outside of 140. So you might tickle 147.50 slightly. But you can see the quarterly moving average worked back in the day. Or maybe that was, you know what? Turn it off. I think it's 25 and 50 that actually worked, not the higher time frame. Yeah, the 25-50 month moving average is what worked. See how it came, touched it, and boom. The cloud is pretty rough on the monthly chart.
Yeah. It does give you a look at what your big picture is.
The levels are a lot stronger too. Like this level right here, which was the last signal we got on the pound, generated 1,000 pips. Not sure. And then this signal here that happened in 2009 generated 1,600 pips. The fast momentum is not really a money maker.
The fast momentum is not.
It's not, because you're making 2,000 pips in a matter of 3 years, 2 years. Well, the signal, then you had to wait about a year to get in. Then you had to wait about 11 months, another year. So it took you about 2 years to make money on this trade. 2,500 pips. Now, if that 2,500 pips was equal, $2.5 million, then
Is
2
it
years.
because you're on the monthly chart?
Yeah. It's going to take a long time for, it's kind of like that, it's that size of a boat that it takes that much more time for it to turn around. On the weekly chart, you probably had plus. Hold on, I have my just double check my setting here. So I'll loosen this up a little bit. I had it set to 1.8. So on a weekly chart, well, here's a signal that the last signal that worked was 1,000 pips, 16 weeks.
Wow.
That's about a quarter, 3 months it took you to get that trade. Same 1,200 pips, 22 weeks. So it's almost 6 months to get that trade. 1,600 pips, 30 weeks. A little over 6 months. You kind of get the point, right?
Definitely long.
Yeah, but you can keep adding, so you accumulate wealth.
Less risk and more wealth, yeah.
Yeah, so 1,700 plus 12 is 3,000. So about 4,000 pips in the matter of whatever the duration here was, 30 weeks, 6 months. 4,000 pips is not bad.
No.
If you have a $5,000 account, you're $1,000 shy from doubling it in 6 months.
I would like that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good return. So you just have to, pay attention to these charts and just say, with these wealth pockets, you can generate some good, good income. This level here generated 500 pips in 9 weeks. This level here, 22 weeks, 500 pips. But this is a sideways range. This one probably generated a little more. 800 pips in 18 weeks. Definitely requires a little bit of patience.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I've actually got it set up on the dollar Swiss. I haven't traded that one in a long time.
On what, the monthly chart?
I'm actually on a daily 4-hour as my entry, doing the entry right at the signal for the quarters at 96.75 on a short, which has an area that was once demand and is now broken it.
This guy here?
I'm a little higher up on my entry.
Here.
I'm actually on the 96.75 mark.
96.75. Okay. So you're looking at this level.
I may miss it because of that signal going out. That's my one pass signal, but my quarters signal's just a little higher up.
Yeah, I see the quarter signals right here. Just black dot right there.
Yep.
So
I'm a little higher up, and if you notice that line back on the 18th of March, that thing was demand.
yeah, I see right there.
Try it, see what happens. Do you like that line, 96.75? I mean, it's top of the cloud. If it busted that cloud, it's going to go up higher for sure.
The reason I like it is because look at that.
Yeah.
Monthly signal. I would look to take it a little bit higher, 97.50. Plus there's a gap right there that probably wants to get filled at some point.
97.50.
Yeah. I would more look at it.
I
Look
see
at
where
it
you're at on
this
that.
way. This is what I was eyeballing. You have a level, and you have a gap, and you have a strong monthly signal on this guy here.
So you're seeing where would you put your entry then? 99.70?
97.50.
Still at 97.50?
Would try it, and possibly some more at 99.75. If it does try to fill that gap.
I like that. I'll try that. I'm not real familiar with this pair. Get this thing over on the. Where'd you see your gap at? Is that on your monthly?
Yeah, right there.
Yours doesn't look like mine.
There could be. No.
Mine's been filled. There's no gap.
It's possible it could be a platform issue. I've had those before.
So let's see, I need to make sure there's a place on the option. Let's see if it's options. See, mine looks like it's filled. There's got to be a place. There's a place I know with FXCM that shows gap.
Yeah, on my other platform it's filled too. So that's a little odd.
Where do you remember where it is on the
Yeah, it's
FXCM?
it's right here in their options, general, price gaps, hide.
Okay, you're on options.
Still didn't hide it.
Yeah, I don't want to hide it, do I?
Yeah, I've had this problem before. I just don't know how to fix it. I don't know why it's giving me.
See, I'm not seeing. How did you get that? How'd you get that table up?
Right click the options.
Okay.
And there's general options, price gaps, show.
Yeah, mine says show, weekends data show, but mine's not gapped like that. My bodies actually overlap each other.
Yeah, I know that. I can see it. Here, this is my other computer. You can see the same candle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what mine looks like. But yours is truly showing a gap there.
Yeah.
Why would it do that? Do you have any idea?
I've seen it before. It's some kind of data glitch.
So is it truly a gap?
No, but it is a level. So either way, whether it's gap or not, there's a level there.
And the 97 plays really well in the daily. 97.50, I should say.
Yeah, there's.
Where would you put your stop on that?
I would take it like that. Maybe above 99.
You do that large of a risk.
You don't have to, but you can do just that. Just 99 is where the 50, daily 50 moving averages.
Right.
So if it does come to retest the 50, well, by the time it comes back there, I think the 50 is going to be lower. So you can trail the 50 until it lines up with 99, the 98.
I was sitting at 98.07 is where I was.
Yeah, 98 is not too bad. 97.50. We'll probably come to retest that area.
Looks like an interesting trade. It could happen. I mean, that one's the one I've not traded in a long time. That euro pound is also getting me. That one I like.
Yeah, I took it off my list. I haven't really touched it. Well, I haven't touched it, so I took everything I haven't touched off my list.
I'm going to test it this next weekend, I hope. But man, I'm hooked on it. I don't know why. It just draws me in and sucks me dry. I haven't got with the pound kiwi yet, as far as all that stuff. So. That one looks like a one. I mean, it just now entered into a strong short.
Which one?
Pound kiwi. I'm looking at the 4-hour chart. It came right up to that 0975 mark, and yeah, that's pretty level. Be nice if it would hold.
I'd like to see it cross back below the green.
Yeah, me too. I don't think it will. I think it's going higher, which is bad news for me on the other side of that too. Means the pound's getting stronger.
What was the news? Pretty bad. Ooh, they're doing their cash rate. 12.30.
That's for the Aussie.
Yeah. So they're. No change expected, so. That's why the Aussie was behaving funny this morning. Because the cash rate's not going anywhere until 12:30 tonight.
So speaking of the Aussie, are you looking to be long on that? Because it looks like it wants to turn down.
It does, however, there's a daily, weekly zone right there. It could very easily break through that, but tonight, if they do something stupid.
You're looking at it daily on that, yeah.
But I'm thinking he wants to come give 77 a kiss, 77.50 and possibly 80. And just kind of scream it that way, but this is not fresh anymore. This has been taken out once. I don't know.
I have my entry a little bit longer or a little further down at the 75.25 mark.
Which one? 70.
75.25.
Yeah, I took mine at the actual level here. There's another 4-hour level right there. Right here.
Yeah, that's where I'm sitting, I think, right now on the 4. Let me see the 4-hour. Yeah, that's where I'm.
Yeah, I took this one at basically support, and then I took this one at the actual level. And this whole range here is the daily level. There's this one, but this one's a retest of all this junk, so. At the worst case, we'll come here and then come bounce, maybe retest this guy here. Create a Head and Shoulders finale. So that's where my head's at. I think there's also a weekly moving average somewhere in there. Yeah, there it is. See where the 50 is?
Mm-hmm.
So we got a little bit of an overlap here. We'll see. Keep it.
I tightened up my stop a little bit on this because I don't want to get crazy. It just kind of looks like it may turn a little further down.
So there's the level on the Kiwi, similar to that Aussie level. There's another tiny one right there. We'll see.
Yeah, just gotta be patient, see what happens.
CAD's in a clear downtrend. A little bit of a sideways range here, but there's this whole area.
Yeah, it's pretty good downtrend there. We went from $2 gas to $1.68 in 2 days, and then we went right back up to $1.94 today. So in 2 days, we've had that big swing. Insanity is what it is.
See, this is one of those times where that wick being higher gives you a good trade. Actually, you know what? This gave you a good trade right here. See how that's so much better?
Yeah, I see it.
But, you know, on the supply and demand level, that's the level right there.
That's basically done now, according to our press rules.
Yeah. There's a 4-hour yen level, but it's a little too low on the curve. It's bumping up against these lows. There's not really any profit potential here.
You have one on the daily as well, though, at the 112.08 mark. Nice.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. It's prettier. If it does bounce here, you got plenty of room. 200 pips. 2 days worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. What's that ratio? You got it at one? Is that 110.83 you're showing?
110. Oh yeah, 11083.
Yeah.
I just basically these two lows connected. There. It's kind of the leftover of that level.
All right, my friends, I'm getting ready to go study for another test. James, you outdid yourself.
Thanks.
I wish I could say more, but I can't. Because I don't have any gift to this at all. I'm lucky to just be able to push buttons and figure out what you're talking about. Al, will we see you in the morning before I roll out again?
Yeah, I'll try to be out there before you roll out. I'll try to be
All
here.
right.
I'll try to get here. What time do you usually get on the computer?
I'm usually between 5 and 5:30. I just don't normally feel like talking because my wife's still asleep.
Okay, well, I try and get on here probably by 6:30, 7:15. I'll try and